Okay, now this is our theorem today. If P is an irreducible element of principal ideal domain R, then P is a prime element. So let R be of principal ideal domain and let P belongs to R such that P is irreducible. Okay? P is irreducible. Then we have to show that this P is a prime element. Okay? So, what does it mean by being irreducible? Being irreducible means if P is shown in the term of product of A and B, then either A should be unit or B should be unit. One of them should be unit element. So, since P is irreducible, let AB are any two elements of R such that P is written as A into B. Then I have to show either A or B. One of them is a unit element. Okay? Then our theorem actually okay. Then we have to show one of them is actually we have not to say one of them is unit element. One of them is unit element, and then we have to show P is a prime element. Okay, this is given. So let us consider that P divides AB. Then we need to show either P divides A or P divides B. Then we need to show that either P divides A or P divides B. So let me start. If P divides A, then our theorem is proved. P is a prime element. If P divides A, then our theorem is proved. So let me start it with another result with if possible let P does not divide A. P does not divide A. Okay. Then since R is principal ideal domain, so every two different element in principal ideal domain has greatest common divisor. We know that any two different element in principal ideal domain has greatest common divisor. So there exists greatest common divisor of PA for that is D. Say that greatest common divisor is D. That is GCD of PA is equal to DD. But we know in PID, if GCD of PA is equal to GD, then there exists two elements X and Y in PID are such that D can be written as the linear combination of
Yes,
P and A. That is X P plus Y A. Suppose that this is equation number 1. Now let me hold this equation over here and let me see here that the GCD of PA is D. Therefore, D should divide to P and D should divide to A. Both. Since D divides P and D divides A, both. So there exist two numbers UV in R, PID R, such that P can be written as D U and A can be written as DV. Yeah? The two results are here that P is equal to DU and A is equal to DV because of division. Okay, I will take this result and I will discuss something. Since I will take the first result, P equal to D into U and P is irreducible. P is irreducible. Therefore, one of them should be unit element. Either D is unit or U is unit. Okay? So, either D or U is a unit element because P is irreducible. Now consider U. If I suppose that if certainly one of them is unit, so I will take suppose that U is unit. In the case if U is unit element, so there exists inverse of it in PID. It has its inverse, and therefore we can write D is equal to PU inverse. In this way I can write because U inverse exists in R. Let me substitute this value of D in A is equal to DV. Therefore, A equal to DV can be written as PU inverse V. And substitute this value in equation number 1. Now from equation 1, D can be written as no, let me not go to question number 1. First I will discuss here, use something and then I will go there. So you have seen here that A is equal to P U inverse V. U inverse V is the element of R. U inverse V is the element of R. So it means when A is divided by P, this results from in R. This shows that P divides A, which is a contradiction because we have already assumed that P is not dividing to A, which is a contradiction. Hence, our supposition that one of them is unit and I suppose that U is unit, then by force since U is not unit over there, what will be unit? D will be a unit element because the contradiction is our result if U is unit. So we cannot suppose that U is unit. So the another element D should be unit. Therefore, the result D is unit element. So I that this D is actually unit element. Okay. So I will multiply this equation number 1 by D inverse. Now, if I multiply this equation by D inverse, the result is D inverse, that is equal to XP D inverse plus YA D inverse. This will be 1. The unit element of XP D inverse YA D inverse. Now I will elaborate little more, and I will multiply this equation by B, the element B. If you multiply this equation by B, this equation will be in the form of
XP
B X P D inverse plus B A Y D inverse. I have interchanged the place of A and B, as R is commutative. This is R is commutative. So if you interchange the places of the elements of R, there is no problem. Okay, we can do this. And if you watch this equation, you can see very easily, since P divides this P divides P, this implies P divides B X P and D inverse. P divides the whole of this element, this first part. Okay, and since P divides AB, we have seen here that P divides AB. Where we have started it? Here. Okay, P is dividing to AB. Since P is dividing to AB, therefore this will divide to whole of them. This implies P should divide to B, A, Y and B inverse. So we see here P is dividing the first term, and also P is divided to second term. So their addition will also be divided by the same element P. So P should divide B of P D inverse plus B A Y D inverse, imply P divides B. The result is P divides B. So how we came to this result? In the case P does not divide A, the result is P divides B. And similarly, if P does not divide B, this will imply P divides A. In both the cases, we see that P is a prime element, and therefore P is a prime element, and our theorem is proved here. Okay? Okay? Do you understand this?